Let's get into the advisory now, though, as more Australians move from building wealth to drawing it down and the focus in retirement shifting from returns to reliable income. Andrew Grinsell from Cooee Wealth joining me now. Andrew, we're sort of just talking there about our superannuation system and how important it is, but you're also talking here about annuities. What is an annuity, and I guess why is it so important that we look at them?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. So, when we sort of think about retirement investing as advisors and anyone involved in the markets, we tend to think about volatility and risk in that way. But for the underlying investor or for the client, the retiree, really what they're sort of worried about are things like running out of money. They're worried about having to reduce their lifestyle in later life, or even becoming dependent on family and government. So that's why we see that sort of annuities are re-entering the conversation. Now, an annuity, just put simply, it's a lump sum that you give to a life company, and they just pay an income for a defined period. That can be a set term, it can be for life, but quite different to an account-based pension. So account-based pensions is where traditionally a lot of people sort of put their retirement savings. In the account-based pension, the income really depends on what the investment markets do and what withdrawals people take throughout their time, whereas the annuity provides income that's contractually guaranteed to the owner of that. So it really just converts capital into a pension-like income stream.
So is that the main reason why someone would consider looking at this income stream?
Yeah, I mean, what it's looking to do, with retirement planning, it's one of these things where we don't know what the end date is. Nobody knows exactly when they're going to pass away or how long their money needs to last. So we need to have a way of making sure that people don't outlive their money. And by bringing the annuity into the piece, it can help reduce some of those risks where traditionally there's a lot of portfolio failure or insufficient retirement savings for people who live beyond the age of 90. I don't think a lot of people retired expecting to live that long, but life expectancy just keeps on going up and up and up. And if you've got a couple, well, statistically speaking, one of those is going to be alive beyond the age of 90. So we've got quite a long time frame that we need to be able to fund retirement for. And we've also got sequencing risk in retirement where the investment returns, they're not consistent every year, but you consistently have to take out money to keep funding your income and lifestyle. So what an annuity does is it transfers that risk over to the life company, the insurer, so that it protects in those sort of later years of retirement where investment markets are a bit more uncertain. And in doing that, it gives a lot of people more retirement confidence. And what we do see a lot of is we get a lot of retirees who underspend because they're so scared of running out of money. But if we can provide a guaranteed level of income for life for a retiree, we see behavioural changes. People get a bit more confident to spend their retirement savings. Their quality of life improves, which really sort of helps. So as part of that exercise, what we tend to do is look at a client's expenses and go, okay, well, what is it that you absolutely must receive every year to make sure that your expenses are met versus what is it you'd like to receive? And then using the annuity in a way that makes sure that that must have is absolutely met.
Andrew, what about Centrelink treatment or testing? What happens here?
Yeah, absolutely. So the lifetime annuities in particular, so term annuities, where they might be for a shorter time frame, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever that may be that you pick, they don't have the Centrelink benefits, but the lifetime annuities certainly do. So for Centrelink purposes, Centrelink assess age pension entitlements based on an assets test and an income test. Whichever of those two tests gives the worst outcome is the one that they'll calculate pension entitlements on. So with a lifetime annuity, we have the benefit of only 60% of the asset value being assessed for asset test purposes for the first 5 years or to age 84. Then it actually drops to only 30% of the asset value being assessed for Centrelink purposes. And then on the income test side of things, only 60% is assessed. So For someone who is maybe already receiving an age pension, a partial age pension, including some allocation to a lifetime annuity can increase age pension entitlements. But it also works for people who might just be marginally above the cutoff level for getting an age pension. It can just sort of bring them back down below those thresholds, get them a small pension. Even a small pension gets you the pensioner concession card with the discounted rego, water rates, all the other concessions that come with it, pharmaceutical benefits scheme and the like. So it can be quite lucrative from that perspective. But also when we blend a lifetime annuity with the age pension, that can go a long way to meeting the absolute must-have level of income that people have. But it's not to say that we put everything into a lifetime annuity, because they do have drawbacks.
And yeah, I was going to say, any trade-offs here?
Yeah, absolutely. Lack of flexibility. So generally, people are going to be restricted in their ability to access additional capital. So once you buy the lifetime annuity, it has a set amount of income that it pays for lifetime. Now that can be a fixed dollar amount or it can be inflation linked, but we don't have the ability to make partial withdrawals from these investments. So if somebody goes, I need a new car, or there's work to be done around the home, I need to take some out, it doesn't work with these. Now, there are guaranteed withdrawal periods in which you can take the full amount out, but it's not something that has the flexibility of like an account-based pension. So what we tend to recommend to clients is to separate the two. It's about combining the account-based pension, which has the flexibility to take additional withdrawals. You can spend it at whatever rate you want to, and then blend that with the lifetime annuity to give that level of certainty and make sure that the must-have requirements are met.